I'm talking about speed of play. I'm talking about how you can be a quicker player, play faster, make quicker decisions on the field, and in turn be more effective and harder to play against. Okay, so I have 5 points I want to get into, and I want to get into them right away. Number 1, take your first touch into space. Okay, most players, let's say we're the red team playing this way. Okay, so most players, they take a touch to settle the ball, they take a touch to turn, and then they'll take their touches to make certain decisions. You want to take your first touch into space. If possible, you want to take your first touch towards their goal. Okay, we always want to be playing forward. We always want to be moving forward if the space is there. Okay, if the space is there, they're not going to close you down. You need to take that space with your first touch. We need to get our heads up and try to play forward as quickly as possible. Okay, so can your first touch be into space towards their net or away from the defender? Let's look at both examples. Okay, so first touch, I'm half turning, my first touch is into space, I'm playing forward. This guy's first touch should be into space since he has no one on him and he's playing forward. Okay, you don't want to play with 3 touches, 1 to settle, 1 to turn, 1 to play, when you could do it with 1 touch, half turn, play into space. Okay, so your first touch should always be into space. Unless it's really pinged at you, you really need to settle the ball, try to do everything with 1 touch into space. Okay, so let's say you receive the ball, defender's on you, I don't want to take my touch here, let him come on me, and then try to win the ball off me. I want to take my first touch into space. So I want to take my first touch inside so he's forced to chase me, or I'm going to take my first touch and spin into space. So the ball is always moving away from the defender. Okay, I can even take my first touch this way away from him as long as I'm moving away from the defender. Okay, so first touch into space. Next point I want to touch on is play with fewer touches. Okay, in the last video I gave you, I told you that your homework was to watch a soccer game and notice the amount of touches that every player has. I think you'll find, let's say our boys have the ball at the back, this is all 2-touch football. Get it, give it, move it. Okay, players come into space, boom, 2-touch. It might not go all the way, but we're moving the ball quickly. Everyone's playing with 2 touches. Now, especially at the youth level, everyone gets the ball, especially our creative players in the middle. They want to take 10 touches because they have technical skill, because they're confident on the ball. But the reality is that they're slowing the play down, okay? And they're hurting our teammates. Our teammates are getting closed down every time you take touches that you shouldn't. So in order to do more, I want you to do less. Play with fewer touches, okay? Can we play 2-touch football? Okay, can we play and let our off-the-ball movement create the space for us, create our opportunities? Now, saying that, yes, there will be times when you do need to take multiple touches. Maybe I have no support here. Maybe I have to use my pace and my creativity to get into an attacking space or to get out of trouble, okay? But when the pass is on, move it quickly, okay? If I have teammates in open space, I need to play with fewer touches. I need to move the ball quickly. So if you haven't done that yet, next time you watch professional soccer, count the amount of touches each player has on the ball. I think you'll find they play a lot of 2-touch, 1-touch, 3-touch football. Now they will use multiple touches in certain areas, in certain situations. I want you to notice what those situations are. Usually when they have lots of space to attack, or they're in a one-on-one situation where if they beat one guy, they can get a cross in or get a shot on goal. Okay, so overall, try to play with fewer touches, especially in your own defensive third and the middle third of the field. Okay, next point I wanted to get at was playing with urgency. Okay, so to increase your speed of play, I want you to have a faster mentality when you're on the ball. Okay, like I said, your first touch is into space, but instead of jogging into the space or waiting for someone to close you down, if no one's going to close me down, I'm just going to sprint into this space. Okay, think about players like Gareth Bale, Andros Townsend, Aaron Lennon, Theo Walcott. Okay, players that are really pacey, and I want you to take something from their game. They get the ball here, they don't wait for anyone to close them down. They just sprint over here. They'll receive the ball at the end of their box and they'll take 3-4 touches and they're up here. It's because they played with such urgency. They didn't wait for someone to close them down, or they didn't wait for their teammates to get open for them. They made it happen by themselves. They realized no one's going to close me down. I'm just going to sprint up the field. Okay, now I'm closed down. Now I can turn. Now I can use my players for support. Okay, so play with urgency. If no one's going to close you down, take that space. Maybe I don't have any teammates open, but no one's closing me down, so I'm going to come into this space. Then when I do get closed down, yes, I'll play the ball, and maybe we'll play out like this, okay? So when you get closed down, you want to play quickly. If no one's closing you down, take that space. Take advantage of that open space without hesitation. When I receive the ball in these areas, I want to play with urgency. I don't want to wait for him to close me down. I want to get my space and I want to get my shot off. Or I want to drive into the box and force someone to tackle me or get my shot off by driving into the box, okay? So I want you to think about playing with urgency. Like I said in that other video, can we play forward right away? If someone's open, that's not the ball. If I receive the ball here and someone's open in a forward position, I'm not going to take 3-4 touches. I'm going to give them the ball and I'm going to join in. And hopefully they're going to do the same. And we're going to play quickly. We're going to play forward quickly until we get closed down, until we're forced to go backwards. Then we get the ball. He has space. He's going to attack with urgency. He's not going to wait for someone to close him down. Okay, so I had a couple more points I wanted to get at, but I want you to think about first touch into space, playing with urgency. Take that space if no one's going to close you down. Play with fewer touches, okay? Move the ball. Let the ball do the work. The way to play quicker is by moving the ball quicker. Nobody can run as fast as the ball can move, okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was being positive with your movement, okay? So like I said, we always want to try to play forward, but if you're afraid of making mistakes, so you're always playing backwards, okay? You're getting the ball and you're just giving it one touch, you're always playing backwards or you're always playing to the side because you don't want to make mistakes, you don't want to take any risks, well, that's a problem, okay? So you want to play quick, yes, you want to play the right way, but whenever we can, we want to try to get turned and we want to try to play forward. I think that's what I was trying to get at when I made that note. But I probably explained that in the last point that I just described. So the final thing I want to leave you with is reviewing the times that you felt slow or that you knew you played slow, okay? So when you're done your match or your practice, you want to think back. You want to think about all the times that you had the ball or all the plays that you made. Did you get cut? Did you get closed down? Did you get tackled? Was your pass intercepted? Or did you miss out on an opportunity to play a pass because you were slow? Because you were slow with your movement, because you were slow with your mindset. Okay? So I think you'll find if you just pick up the ball and you start sprinting forward, you have good touch, of course, it's going to force players to close you down. Okay? If they don't close you down, you're just going to take that space. Okay? But when you do get closed down, that's when you want to play that pass off, because these players are closing you down. That means other players are finding open space. Okay, so biggest thing for for playing with speed, first touch into space, always trying to play forward, driving into that space without hesitation. If I have open space, I'm going to take it right away. I'm going to force them to close me down. I don't have to come inside and beat this defender with a couple step overs and a rainbow. Okay, I can just get the ball and sprint into the box until someone closes me down, force them to close me down. Think about players like Messi, like Arjen Robben, like Hazard. You get the ball and you just sprint at the box, force defenders to close you down. If he's too slow to get there, I'm just going to go in front of him. Okay, if I have to come inside of him, I'm going to use my speed and I'm going to go right away. Okay, but play with urgency. Play the ball forward. If it's not on, if we can't play forward, then yes, we'll play back and we'll try to go out the other way. But we're always trying to play forward. We're always trying to play with urgency. And decision making, I should say, I didn't touch on it. Looking around, shoulder checking is the most important, okay? So if I need to play quickly, I have to know what's around me. If I'm just looking at the ball, I don't know what's around me. I'm shoulder checking. I know this guy's wide open. I'm just going to turn and play that ball into space. Okay, so that's a lot of advice. I'm rambling on here, but I want you to think about first touch into space, playing with urgency. If there's space, I'm going to attack it or I'm going to play the ball to a player in a forward position. I'm always looking over my shoulders to know where the defenders are closing me down from, to know where the open space is. or to know where I have to play one touch or when I can play with multiple touches. Okay, and finally, reviewing what happened on the field. Okay, where did I feel slow? Where did I get closed down because I played too slowly? What can I do differently next time? I think you'll find if you take these ideas and you do actually review your performances, where was I slow? Where did I play without hesitation and urgency? What were the outcomes? You'll have much more success on the field. Okay, so I'm going to stop